Surely I can show this, right? Because Rugby.
Oh, stops.
The best part about this weekend's rugby is no more Sunday night kickoffs. I am knackered. Anyways, let's review and preview. Warren Ball CIC. Second World Cup semi in a row for them? I think so. Whoops, got that one wrong. Wales took on Los Pumas in an exciting, if a little bit error-strewn quarterfinal on Saturday. Wales were better at capitalizing on the errors and they went ahead by 10 points to 0 after 30 minutes, making me feel real smug about my prediction. How could I have doubted King Boff? The ruler of Edinburgh stepped up and kicked penalty after penalty to eventually put Los Pumas in front. A couple lead changes happened after that and then the first old head of the weekend stood up. Nico Sanchez getting the late game intercept to put the Argentinians out of sight and into the semis by 29 points to 17. Spare a thought though for Wales, who managed to pull themselves together for the World Cup. Pay disputes, massive retirements and a new old coach made things tough. But you can already see the start of the next generation of Welsh stars coming through. Ireland it is, with players sprawled all over the ground at the end from exhaustion. Got that one wrong as well. This was one of the best games of rugby ever played. Ireland stepped up to try and win their first ever knockout game at a World Cup, again. And they only had the little matter of the freaking All Blacks standing in their way, again. What happened next was I died. And then somehow went to heaven and got to see rugby played at a godly level. It's the only way I can explain what I witnessed. New Zealand knew you had to score first and as much as possible to try and throw this Irish attack off just a little bit by putting pressure on them to score. They raced out to a 13-0 lead and then just had to hold off Ireland for the next 60 minutes. Ireland ran and mauled and fought until the very end. But again, the old heads stood up. Sam Cane, Sam Whitelock, Bowden Barrett and Aaron Smith showed why they are all future Hall of Famers. A tight and nerve-wracking 28-24 victory broke Irish hearts once again in the quarterfinals. Please don't let that lower your opinion of this Irish side. Many would agree that we've been in a very high quality period of international rugby. France, South Africa, New Zealand, Argentina and Scotland have all been good or even great by their standards. Even with a lot of their coaching troubles, Wales and England also showed some good patches. Even Italy were pretty good until the last month. For the last 2 years, Ireland stood above all of them as the best. Some of their legends have now retired and some new faces will come into the team, but I'm sure they will still remain as one of the international standard setters. Congratulations and goodbye to them. But also congratulations to New Zealand for finally taking that Raven shield off of them. If they do that, then I think England should win this, just because of their squad depth. Fiji just look too tired. What a prediction, no one else thought about it. I'm a genius. Like the Wales-Los Pumas game, this England-Fiji game was a little stop-start. And again, one team built an early lead just for the other team to try and chase it down. England used their better kicking and their better discipline to build a nice 24-10 lead. Semi Radradra just woke up all of a sudden and Fiji upped the intensity to chase down that score, and eventually we got to a 24 points to all game with only 10 minutes left. And then guess what? That's right, old grey heads again. Owen Farrell and Joe Marler and Courtney Laws especially took the game back from the Fijians and built a lead with a penalty and a drop goal. 30-24 the final result and the end of the road for the popular and very well dressed Fijians. I'll remember this Fiji side for showing us what hard work and some access to regular competition can do for a smaller rugby nation. As long as the Indrua can stay in Super Rugby and they can sprinkle in some stars from Europe, we might have another big player in international rugby. It's just time to give them some matches now. 4 years of being world champions might end on Sunday, and I'm not ready for that. That doesn't count as a prediction, so not wrong again. Genius. I must confess something. Inside this sculpted chassis of confidence and charisma, I am a conflicted wreck. Like Travis and Old Yeller, I had to watch something I love die on Sunday. I've made it no secret that Antoine Dupont is one of my favorite players ever, And after the elation of the Bok win started to fade, I could not help but feel that this all happened at least one game too soon. Fortunately, the match itself was a great send-off because it was just as good, if not better, than the blockbuster on the night before. The tricks these two teams were pulling in the game were ridiculous. France set up a midfield maul, basically using the move against us. The Boks called a scrum off a mark to force the French into a scrum battle to tire them out. Louis Bielbarri did the whole catch the ball outside and land inside off a penalty kick thing to negate it, and the Boks even pulled a tap and go move straight off like a high school rugby game. Just the audacity and the balls of these two teams to pull these kind of plays in a World Cup quarterfinal is incredible, and I'll never forget it. France were leading with 15 minutes to go, and again the old heads had to stand up. The Boks did the before mentioned tap and go move, and Eben Etzebeth crashed over for a try to take the lead. I was shitting. There were a couple more penalties, and then the final minutes of edge of your seat phase play saw the Boks hold on for an ultra close 29-28 win. My beloved Boks through to a semi-final, and my beloved France knocked out of their own World Cup. Sorry. Guess we head into the semi-finals now, and this weekend will finally reveal if the draw has been as lopsided as we all think it is. New Zealand versus Argentina. Does Argentina stand a chance against the world number 2 All Blacks, the current Raven Shield holders, and the team that finally stopped the Irish juggernaut? Maybe they can win some lineouts? Those have been pretty good. Really, the intensity and speed with which the All Blacks have been playing seems to be just a level above the Los Pumas right now. And if they are even a little passive in defense, they could be looking at 40 points. But what do I know? Look at my predictions last week. This is the perfect Christchurch opportunity for the RGs, and they can make history this weekend. Let's just hope for a close one. South Africa versus England. Saturday night we'll see a rematch of the 2019 final. England take on the Boks to try and get revenge for 4 years ago. Will they be able to do it? Almost everything that England are good at, the Boks are just a little better at. I do not want to be a Matt Williams here, but unless England kick like 5 drop goals, I don't see an area where the Boks are worse off. At least we know that England will have plenty of motivation, and they did give Ireland a tough game last time out. And most of all, look at my predictions last week. Just terrible. Let's just savor these matches. They are World Cup semi-finals after all. They are extremely difficult to play in, never mind win, and we only get to see them every 1400 days or so. I cannot wait. News? News. Okay. News. Again, a light week for headlines. Or I'm just too tired to look anything up. Probably the latter. The main thing really, I guess, is that Eddie has confirmed he's staying on in the Wallabies job. I don't really know how to feel about this. Mostly I just wish he would take a year or two off of coaching and enjoy his millions. Maybe go help a school team or two. After that, he can see if he wants to come back or not. The man is 63 after all. I suppose he's got a few months off until the test next July, so he has time to take off and recharge and make plenty of ads about proving dads wrong and hating croissants. I love croissants, obviously, so I will end this week's episode right there so I can go have some because I am an adult. I will see you all next week so we can preview the Argentina-England final none of us saw coming. Bye.